I'm about to introduce to you two young men who, although they are a lot younger than I am, they've been part of this church longer than I have. Of course, I'm talking about the Carrington brothers, Ben and Luke, on this edition of Grace Notes. All right, Ben and Luke, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
It's been a while since I've seen you guys, and now you are the other half of the class of 2021, the great pandemic senior class.
Yep.
What have you guys been up to since March? What kind of catch everybody up on school and how things are going with you?
A lot of it has been school related, getting used to COVID life, a little bit of focusing on college and applications. I was lucky I was able to get a few college visits in right before the pandemic really settled in. So I visited pretty much every college I wanted to look at. But yeah, a lot of it's been school related, college related.
Yeah. So what schools are you interested in, and are you interested in the same schools and going to college together?
I think there's a few colleges we're looking at, just like a couple that we're both looking at.
Yeah.
You're looking
Belmont.
at Belmont and Furman, right?
Yes.
And then I'm looking at Mercer down in Macon
Yeah.
and Emory in Oxford.
And are you looking at Belmont also? Did you say?
Yeah, we're both looking at
Belmont,
Belmont and Furman.
Your parents went to Furman, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we would get that double legacy if one of us went, because
Oh,
they both went there.
does that help you both get in and help pay for it?
I think it's like, I'm not sure if it's with the admission stuff, but definitely paying for it. There's a big discount.
Wow, that's great.
And, they might look at it and say, oh, these are the kids of these two people who went to this college, and
Yeah.
depending on how well they did, maybe we might have a bit of a reputation boost just from the name.
Yeah.
My dad likes to joke around and say, oh, they see they're my sons, and they're not going to let them in at all.
But then they'll find out who your mother is, and
Right,
they will
right.
let you in.
Right.
Kind of balance each other out.
Yeah, right. So, Luke, tell me what you're interested in college. You said Mercer and Emory at Oxford, which would mean you'd go to Emory at Oxford for 2 years and then go to Emory, right, for the last two?
Right, yeah.
So what are you thinking about studying? Do you have any idea?
I have no set plans. It's still kind of up in the air. Computer science has always been fascinating to me, and music stuff has been fascinating to me too. I'm leaning more toward music related major right now.
Like music performance, music production?
Maybe music
both?
theory.
Music theory.
We're both in a music theory class right now, and I'm actually really enjoying that.
Wow, that's fascinating. Do you guys play instruments?
We both played piano a long time ago.
I remember, because Claire and Graham took it with you.
Right, like 8 or 9 years. And we've been in the chorus ever since kindergarten.
Yeah, I've been doing all-state chorus since 7th grade, and I believe there's some sort of scholarship I can get if I make it this year, because that's all 6 years I can make it. So, but yeah, that's been pushed back because it's 200, 300 people in a small room, and singing, which is the worst thing to do during COVID. So they're probably, depending on how things are, they'll probably just end up not doing it this year, but they'll still do auditions so people can at least know if they would make it, and they can be work towards that scholarship. And then I've also been taking guitar the past 2-3 years. I'm also big in music as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've really improved a lot for all the time that I've been at home.
Yeah.
It's between online classes, I just play stuff on it for 10, 15 minutes.
You're not playing video games, Overwatch and all that stuff?
Still doing that.
Yeah.
But I have the guitar out always, so whenever I'm bored of a video game, I'll just pick it up and play it in a while and learn something new, taking lessons every week.
Gosh, that's great. I didn't know you guys had such a love of music.
He always
and
has
then-
guitar out.
Belmont is well known for their film school, right? Because William McClatchy recently graduated. You know William?
A little.
Well, he's older than you, but he graduated, I guess, a couple years ago. and he went to Belmont because of their film
Mhm.
program.
Yeah, I'm looking at that more for the music side. That's, I believe, my top school right now.
For the music. And now, would you have to audition?
Yeah, I've looked at that, and I believe there's like an audition thing you can turn in. I don't exactly know how that is yet because I haven't looked into it that much. I believe it's just like whatever music you know, kind of just perform that and do whatever like the best you know at the time is.
Do it with your phone, like
Your phone, you can set up a better camera, just kind of so they get an idea of your talent, how much you've learned, all that.
Yeah. Gosh, have you done that yet?
No.
So applications are due anytime between now and like February.
Yeah, December 1st is a big deadline, and then January 1st for like all the, if you just have a big school you want to go to, if you want to get accepted or a better chance of getting accepted, you apply by then.
Yeah. Wow. What do you think your chances are that you'll go to the same school?
It's decent. We're looking at a couple of the same schools.
Yeah, I'm not looking. The Belmont isn't as high on my list as it is, I would think, for Ben. So I mean, chances are if he goes to Belmont, I may not go. So but it might happen. We could end up going to the same college together.
Would you be roommates, or would you want different roommates?
I mean, honestly, I don't mean this in a rude way, but I don't really care what happens.
Probably the same way.
Either way, yeah, you guys are good with that either way. Well, good. Gosh, that's really neat. So both of you go to Woodward Academy,
Mm-hmm.
and you've been going there since what, kindergarten?
We've been going there for 13 years now.
This is our 13th.
We're what
13th year.
we're what they call vintage Eagles, which is that's a term for you've been going to Woodward ever since kindergarten or pre-K if you started at their North Campus.
Yeah.
But so
Tell the folks at home what made you decide to go to Woodward.
I mean, our dad works there,
Yeah.
so that's kind of a big thing. We had a small discount on the tuition. Other than that, kind of just it's all we've ever known for school.
Yeah, I just don't know if everybody knows that your dad teaches there. He's a chemistry teacher. Have you ever taken a class from your dad?
So the years we were eligible to take his chemistry class, he had actually stopped teaching that, and he was in an administration role for a couple years, and that just happened to be how it was. He's back to teaching chemistry since last year,
Yeah.
and he's teaching physics this year as well.
if he had started teaching 1 year earlier, I think we would have had him,
Yeah, well, you never did.
but we never did. We barely missed him.
Yeah. And how long has he been teaching there?
20 something years.
25.
Wow. And you guys have been part of this church your whole life.
Mhm.
I've known you since you were both 5 years old. And I think I met you guys at Claire's 5th birthday party. And so that I've known you guys for a long time. And of course, your dad has been part of this church his whole life, and your grandmother for a really long time. And your mom was the youth director here in the late 80s and early 90s.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Sounds about right.
yeah. So you guys have deep roots in this place. So, so you're at Woodward, and I think you were saying that you started spring semester last year, virtual when things shut down. But now both of you have been doing in person.
I started this year. I started this year remote. He's been going back in person ever since the first day of school. But I kind of wanted to stay back, remote for a little bit. But a couple things happened, and I decided it would be better for me to go back in person. I thought it would I felt a little disconnected from my classes. I kind of felt like I was just I was there, but the teacher was really focusing on the kids in the classroom and not on the computer. So it was hard to connect with the class and really get a good grasp of what we were learning sometimes.
Yeah.
So I decided it would be better for me if I went back in person. And I mean, it's definitely different than it has been the past years. It was weird to walk around school and see everybody wearing masks, but
And you've grown up with a lot of these people, and you want to be with them your senior year, but you can't be with them like you'd like to be, I guess.
Yeah.
Is your cafeteria open?
They're doing the special way of with lunch now. Everybody will go back to what we call their advisory rooms, which is basically just like a homeroom, but we don't meet every day. Other than this lunch, like on a normal year, we wouldn't meet every day. We meet like once a week. But every day during our lunchtime, we'd go back to our homerooms, and they would assemble these boxes of food, and we bring them up to our room and just eat them there.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're in a big cafeteria with a bunch of people. We're in a classroom separated by 6 feet apart with, usually for me, it's like only 6 or 7 other kids in the room.
Oh, okay. So how big is your graduating class, do you know?
It's 300 or something, right? It's pretty big.
Almost 300 exactly.
One question I've been asking people is sort of how have you stayed connected to God, or during this time? How have you seen God or experienced God, God's love or God's grace? Do you have any thoughts about that?
I mean, I've had a lot of time to be alone and just sit, think with my thoughts, and I've been able to connect sometimes. But especially when school was happening online, I was just struggling a lot to get assignments done, because at least then I was very bad at getting stuff done on my own, especially when I was at home, because that's kind of a relaxing place for me.
Yeah. Managing that course load and kind of.
So there was just a lot of stress up until the end of that junior year. But I don't know, because when I think about it, things were different. I would have never really learned how to work on my own as well as I can now, because I had to learn quickly to do that.
So in a way, are you saying it's been sort of a blessing, I guess, to get you ready for college? So when you're going to have to do more of that? Wow, that's a good way to look at it. How about you, Luke? Any thoughts?
Like he said, it's just like with all the remote stuff going on, it gave me a lot more time. Like, I was alone a lot more. I wasn't with people a lot, so just being there with my thoughts. It felt a little closer to God. I've had a couple things non-school related that have been a little rough for me. But everything's kind of turned out okay in the end. I see that as a blessing.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Now, you said you're in chorus, Ben. How do you do chorus in a pandemic? What's that like for you? And are you in chorus also?
Yeah.
Okay, both of you guys.
So our school has like a chapel, and it has I don't know, it can probably sit like 600 people without a pandemic. So we have the teachers on the stage. They moved their entire desks from their office to the chapel, and then left all the kids like 10 feet apart, sitting in the pews and then the balcony. So there's like barely enough room to fit 70 kids spaced 10 feet apart.
And singing with masks on.
And singing with masks on.
Which is not easy. Anything else you want to say to folks at church? I know they're gonna love seeing this.
I miss going. Just been like very busy. Senior year, college, all that. Taking 2 AP classes. So just a lot of work. Miss coming here.
Yeah. Maybe once you guys get accepted, that's when things ease up a little bit, and you can get back into it, because I know they'd love to see you. So Belmont, Furman, Mercer, Emory at Oxford. Watch out. Carrington boys are coming to one of these schools, and you're going to be lucky when they get there. And they've got a lot to learn, and they've got a lot of gifts to give. And I'm excited to hear where you guys end up going and what you end up doing with what you learn. As I am with my daughter and, of course, Anna. So we've got 4 seniors, and you guys are thinking about widely different things in widely different schools. So it'll be fun to see where you guys all land. And I'm glad you've landed here. and I'm glad you could take the time to visit with me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.